Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys that we definitely want to get into. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, today we got a show for you guys here today that I think is going to piss off a lot of people. But it was something, this particular episode was prompted by kind of a back and forth that I've been having with some of our viewers that come to our channel that, you know, argue back and forth whenever we talk about the greatest players of all time. Now, as y'all know, I think that Kobe Bryant is one of the greatest players to ever play basketball. And I think that before a lot of these sports shows came on TV where you had these basically special interests personalities in media going out there pushing particular agendas, I don't think it would be controversial to say that Kobe Bryant was the closest thing to Michael Jordan. And after Kobe Bryant won his fourth NBA championship, most people were his fifth NBA championship, most people were comparing him to Michael Jordan. But then, of course, when guys like Nick Wright, Kendrick Perkins, Shannon Sharpe, and others came on television, they slowly started to steer the conversation in a different direction because these guys are on such big, media platforms. Now, one of the biggest knocks against Kobe Bryant throughout his Hall of Fame career is that how good was Kobe really when he had Shaquille O'Neal to carry him to all of those championship rings? How could he really be that good? All of these different things there. And I said to myself, okay, clearly a lot of these guys are trying to hold on to this excuse, basically trying to find ways to basically not give Kobe Bryant, his props. But to me, here's the thing. I think that it would have been very, very difficult if you replace Kobe Bryant with any other basketball player in the NBA and say, okay, you're going to be Shaq's teammate. You go out there and try to help him win these championships. I think it would have been very difficult. And as a matter of fact, we put up a poll on our channel where we polled the audience and we said, about 5 days ago, replace Kobe with LeBron on the 2000 to 2002 Lakers. How many finals MVPs does he win over a prime Shaq? In that poll, about 12,000 people voted. 61% of them said 0. But then here's what started to happen. Of course, the LeBron James zealots started coming in the door, knocking people over, twerking all over people's, it was just crazy. So these guys come in and they start saying, what are you talking about? LeBron James would average a triple-double. He would do this. He would lead the team in assists. He would do this. He would do that. He would do this. He would do that. He would do this. And it was at that moment I began to understand that a lot of LeBron fans, based on what I've been reading from some of the things that these guys are saying, do not have a basic understanding about LeBron James's game. What they understand is all of the hyperbolic language that gets thrown out on television, like he's great, he's this, he's that, he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT, blah, 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 blah. They hear those things, they internalize those words, and what it does is it dumbs them down and it causes them not to be able to think anymore, at least from a basketball level. The fact of the matter is this. If you had replaced Kobe Bryant, and I think at that point in Kobe Bryant's NBA career, he was very, 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 very young. He came in 97, so he was really a year 4 player, right? I think he came into the NBA when he was 18 or 17 or so. So he was probably 2021, thereabout, 2021. If you replace LeBron James at the same age, basically, and put him on that Lakers team, they would have had all kind of challenges because of the nature of LeBron's game, which is another reason I personally believe that it's a lot easier to play alongside a Kobe than it is to play alongside a LeBron. Because whenever a basketball player plays alongside LeBron, usually his basketball game suffers a lot because of how LeBron plays basketball. How does LeBron play basketball? Essentially, LeBron is a point forward. He's a 6'8" power, small forward / point guard. And that's one of the reasons he gets all of those damn assists. He gets a lot of those assists, number one, because he has great court vision, but number two, because he plays the position of the facilitator in the offense. So therefore, he's just going to get a lot more assists just by virtue of having the ball in his hand and basically facilitating the offense. The same thing any normal point guard that has some good passing ability. That's number one. Number two, LeBron has a certain play style. If you have watched him come into the NBA till now, his play style is LeBron is most dangerous, especially when he was younger, in the open court. Why? Because he's 6'8". He's about 250 pounds or whatever it is they say, 260, whatever. He's extremely athletic. He's fast and he's quick. So when he gets ahead of steam, LeBron uses his physical gifts to he's like a human bowling ball, or a human wrecking ball. And he usually attacks the basket. So for him to be successful, LeBron would need to play with a lot of spacing, which brings in the problem of why him and Shaq would not work. If you took a year 5 LeBron James and you put him on the court with a prime Shaq, the offense, this is not up for discussion unless you don't know anything about basketball, unless you're a basketball neophyte. The offense predominantly would be run through Shaq. If you could split it up in percentages, Shaq would probably get 60% of the offense, or at least 50% of the offense ran through him. The rest of you guys can figure out a way to share it amongst yourselves. And some people say, but why? Because he's going to shoot the highest percentage on the floor. Number one. Number two, he's going to put your team in foul trouble. Number three, you really can't stop him unless you foul him. So there's no way LeBron would be a number one option. Just like Kobe Bryant, he would have been the number two option. And y'all be sitting up here talking about, well, if LeBron didn't have Shaq who carried it, y'all be saying the same damn thing. But here's the reason why I think he fails, or I think they're not as successful. They may get one championship, but I don't see them getting three, and I'll tell you why. Kobe's game could complement literally any big man to ever play basketball. LeBron's game doesn't. Historically, if you look at big men that have played, I'm talking about skill, all-star caliber big men that have played with LeBron James, their game usually suffers. Their game usually suffers, and I can prove this to you. We don't have to, we can make this thing, we can make this thing, scientific. Let me pull up some stats here since I'm kind of doing this here on the live. Let me pull up some stats here. We're going to look at Kevin Love's stats, okay, for a second. And then we're also going to look at Chris Bosh, who are probably two of the best big men that LeBron James ever played with. Let's pull up their stats. And let's look at some of their stats before they were teammates with LeBron, and let's look at some of their stats after they were teammates with LeBron, and let's see what happened to their production. Because usually what happens is this, and I'm going to tell you guys in a second. Usually what happens is the media mischaracterizes what they're seeing on the basketball court, and then what they say is, oh, well, these guys, whenever you put them next to LeBron, they cannot deal with the pressure, and therefore their numbers are dwindling, when in reality, whenever you put these type of players as teammates with LeBron, they have to modify their games radically or drastically, and therefore there's an adjustment period where these guys may struggle. Let me hammer home these points for you guys. Today we're talking strictly basketball. Kevin Love, let me give you guys his numbers before he joined LeBron. 30 in the NBA, he averaged 20 points, 0.4 in blocks, 0.6 in steals, 2.5 rebound assists, 15 rebounds a game on 47% shooting as a Minnesota Timberwolf. The next season, he averaged 26 and 13 on 44.8% shooting. The following season, I think he got hurt. He only played 18 games. He only played 18 games. That year, he averaged 18 points. The next season, he averaged Kevin Love, the dude that they were talking about on TV like he was just some nobody. Kevin Love, before he joined the Cleveland Cavaliers, his last year as a Minnesota Timberwolf was averaging 26 points, 0.5 in blocks, 0.8 in steals, 4.4 assists per game, 12.5 rebounds on 82% shooting from the free throw line, 37% shooting from the three-point line, 45.7% shooting from the field. And Kevin Love is a big man that's actually shot over 40% from the three-point line. Yes, that's Kevin Love. Let's look at his numbers. The very next season, he joins the Cavaliers. The very next year, his scoring drops to 16.6 points per game. Assists drops to 2.2. Rebounds drop to 9.7. Free throw shooting, that stayed there, 80%. Three-point shooting, that stayed to 36%. Field goal shooting percentage went to 43%. And some people mischaracterize it because all these people do in media is sit there and twerk it up on the daily. They say, oh, well, Kevin Love, he doesn't, it's the pressure of playing with LeBron. It's the pressure. It's the pressure we're playing with him. It's just the pressure. What the hell are you guys talking about? Ain't no damn pressure. What happened was he went from being a back-to-the-basket dynamic big man to essentially turning into a spot-up corner shooter. That's all that happened. And that's what he needed to do for LeBron to be able to attack the basket, kick, and do all of the things and get it to the open shooters. That's just Kevin Love. Let's look at Chris Bosh last season before he became a Miami Heat. Last season, with the Toronto Raptors, he was averaging 24 points per game, 1 block per game, 0.6 steals, 2.4 assists, 10.8 rebounds on 80% shooting from the free throw line, 36% shooting from the three-point line, and 52% shooting from the field. He becomes a Miami Heat. His scoring drops by 6 points to 18.7. Assists go down, rebounds go down, free throw shooting percentage increases a little bit, three-point shooting percentage drops to 24%, and field goal shooting percentage turns into 49%. And Chris Bosh, for those of you who don't remember, was a proverbial punching bag for the media. He was there's a history of scapegoats. The thing about LeBron is that he's always had a scapegoat for his entire career. It has always been someone else's fault. Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, he was just aloof. Now it's Anthony Davis, of course, Russell Westbrook. You can sprinkle a few others here and there. But if you look at Kobe, whenever Kobe Bryant played with a dominant big man, they did not have to modify their game. They played the exact same style. Shaq played the exact same style he played with Kobe and he played without Kobe. Paul Gasol played the exact same style with the Memphis Grizzlies before he joined Kobe Bryant. His scoring dropped a little bit, but his play style essentially was the same. So for people saying, oh, LeBron, because all these guys do is twerk. Oh, LeBron, oh, my king, LeBron, let me put on your cape. Oh, LeBron, he would win 3. Y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about. When the Lakers were playing with Phil Jackson, they're running a triangle offense, bro. So all of this stuff y'all are talking about, only you and the good Lord knows what y'all are talking about. So to me, Shaq winning those 3 championships actually speaks to the greatness of Kobe. It actually speaks to the sheer greatness of Kobe Bryant. And no one wants to mention this. If you look at some of the years when Shaq was playing with Kobe Bryant, you just look at some of his regular season numbers. Let's look at Kobe Bryant, although Kobe Bryant was, let's look at the 01 season. All right. Let's look at the 01 season. In that season, Shaquille O'Neal averaged 28.7 points per game. Get this. 2.8 blocks per game. 0.6 steals. 3.7 assists. Shaq was a very good passer. 12.7 rebounds on 57% field goal shooting. What did Kobe average that year? Kobe Bryant in that same year, that 01 season, he averaged, let me pull up the numbers, 28.5 points per game, 0.6 in blocks, 1.7 in steals, 5 assists, 5.9 rebounds, and he shot 46% from the field. There you have the difference. You go name me the big man that played alongside LeBron James and consistently had a successful year after, and won championships year. The only exception has been Anthony Davis, but that only lasted for one season. This is why I think the best they do is win one championship. And in the case with Shaq, is a totally different thing. You can't play the style of play that you play with an Anthony Davis or you play with a Shaq, because Anthony Davis is not going to dominate the paint. Shaq will. This is just one of the reasons. Anybody that ever watched basketball can tell you this for free. Kobe Bryant was a more versatile scorer. He had more of an arsenal, so he could adapt to playing with a guy like Shaq and do other things and still be an all-NBA first defender. So to me, I just wanted to put this out there and explain it to you guys on a basketball level.